In that borderland where psychology meets philosophy, no legend looms as large as Carl Jung, the founder of analytical psychology, and he has some advice for us all. Jung's own quest was deeply personal. He sought to understand the unconscious, eternal archetypes, and the universal patterns shaping our lives. His revolutionary idea, our minds are linked to a collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of human experience. Let's demystify Jung's core concepts like the persona, shadow, anima, animus, and self, and show how they offer practical guidance for personal growth today. Jung's work is an invitation to embark on the journey of individuation, becoming the truest, most self-realized version of you. Carl Gustav Jung was born in the picturesque Swiss village of Kessville in 1875, surrounded by the tranquil beauty of the Swiss countryside. The late 19th century was a time of great change in Europe, and Switzerland, with its rolling hills and serene lakes, provided a unique backdrop for Jung's early years. He was raised in a family deeply rooted in both religious tradition and academic pursuit. His father was a pastor, and the home was filled with theological discussions, ancient books, and religious artifacts. This environment fostered a sense of curiosity and reverence for the mysteries of existence, shaping Jung's lifelong fascination with the spiritual and intellectual dimensions of life. As a child, Jung was often solitary, introspective, preferring the company of his thoughts to that of other children. He spent hours reading, drawing, and exploring the landscapes of his imagination. These early experiences of solitude and wonder became the foundation for his later explorations into the human psyche, as he sought to understand the hidden depths of the mind. Jung's professional journey began at the renowned Burgholzli Psychiatric Hospital in Zurich, where he quickly distinguished himself as a pioneering thinker. There, he developed innovative word association tests, which revealed the presence of unconscious complexes, hidden emotional patterns that influence behavior. His work at Burgholzli marked the beginning of a lifelong quest to map the inner workings of the mind. His collaboration with Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis, was both intellectually stimulating and personally challenging. The two men shared a passion for unraveling the mysteries of the unconscious, but their partnership was ultimately short-lived. Deep philosophical disagreements, especially about the nature and scope of the unconscious, led to a dramatic split, leaving Jung to forge his own path. After parting ways with Freud, Jung entered a period of profound introspection and self-examination. He meticulously recorded his dreams, visions, and fantasies, delving into the depths of his own psyche. This intense inner journey, which he later described as a creative illness, was both disorienting and transformative, pushing him to the brink of psychological crisis, but also opening new vistas of understanding. Out of this crucible of personal struggle emerged Jung's most influential ideas: the concept of archetypes, the collective unconscious, and the process of individuation. He believed that every individual carries within them universal symbols and patterns, and that true psychological growth comes from integrating these hidden aspects of the self. Jung's life is a testament to the power of perseverance and self-discovery. His journey shows us that profound insight and creativity often arise from periods of uncertainty and struggle, reminding us that while rarely straightforward, the path to self-understanding is always rewarding. Carl's model of the unconscious is foundational to understanding the depths of the human mind. He believed that beneath our conscious awareness lies a vast, intricate world that shapes our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in ways we often don't realize. This hidden realm, according to Jung, is not just a single undifferentiated mass, but is divided into two distinct layers, each with its own unique influence on our lives. He divided the unconscious into the personal unconscious and the collective unconscious. The personal unconscious is like the tip of the iceberg that breaks the surface, unique to each individual, shaped by our personal experiences, memories, and emotions. The personal unconscious holds forgotten memories, repressed emotions, and unresolved conflicts that are specific to our own lives. These are often organized into complexes, clusters of thoughts and feelings that can influence our reactions and decisions, sometimes without us even knowing it. For example, a childhood experience might create a complex that affects how we relate to others as adults. The collective unconscious, however, is a much deeper and more mysterious layer. Unlike the personal unconscious, it is not shaped by individual experience but is shared by all humanity. Jung described it as a kind of psychic inheritance, a reservoir of universal experiences, instincts, and patterns that have developed over countless generations. This collective layer explains why similar myths, symbols, and themes appear in cultures all around the world, even among people who have never met or communicated. It's as if humanity shares a common language of the soul, expressed through recurring images and stories that resonate across time and place. Archetypes, universal symbols like the hero, the mother, the shadow, and the wise old man, emerge from this collective unconscious. These archetypes shape our dreams, inspire our creativity, and influence the stories we tell, both individually and as cultures. They provide a framework for understanding ourselves and the world around us. Jung believed that many psychological problems arise when we become disconnected from these deeper layers of the unconscious. When we ignore or repress the messages from our personal or collective unconscious, we may feel lost, anxious, or unfulfilled, struggling to find meaning in our lives. The path to self-realization, according to Jung, involves reconnecting with both the personal and collective unconscious. By exploring our inner world and integrating its wisdom, we can achieve greater wholeness, creativity, and a deeper sense of purpose in life. Individuation is Jung's term for the lifelong journey towards psychological wholeness. It's not about perfection, but about integrating all aspects of yourself, light and dark, conscious and unconscious. Individuation means differentiating from social masks and collective expectations, while also harmonizing the conflicting parts of your psyche. This process often begins in midlife or during personal crises, when the psyche demands deeper meaning. Ignoring this call can lead to emptiness. Answering it leads to transformation. Individuation isn't selfish. It's the foundation for authentic relationships and meaningful contribution to society. The journey inward ultimately empowers you to engage with the world more consciously. The persona is the social mask we wear to fit in, our public face, shaped by roles and expectations. It helps us navigate society, but problems arise when we mistake the mask for our true self. Over-identification with the persona leads to emptiness and alienation, as our authentic self is suppressed. The energy spent maintaining a flawless persona can be exhausting, pushing unwanted traits into the unconscious. Individuation requires recognizing the persona as a tool, not an identity. True growth means using the persona consciously, without losing sight of who you really are. This awareness is the first step toward reclaiming your authentic self. The shadow is everything we hide from the world and ourselves. It contains the traits and impulses we reject, formed as we suppress unacceptable parts to fit in. The shadow doesn't disappear. It influences us unconsciously, often through projection, seeing in others what we deny in ourselves. Recognizing our projections is a humbling but essential step in self-awareness. Shadow work means acknowledging these darker aspects, not acting on them, but accepting them as part of us. By integrating the shadow, we reclaim lost energy and creativity. The shadow also holds positive qualities we've repressed. Embracing it leads to a more realistic and whole sense of self. Beyond the persona and shadow, Jung identified the anima and animus, the unconscious feminine in men and masculine in women. These archetypes aren't about gender, but about integrating qualities traditionally associated with the opposite sex. The anima connects men to emotion and creativity. The animus gives women assertiveness and structure. When unconscious, these figures can dominate us, manifesting as moodiness or rigidity. We often project them onto romantic partners, seeking in others what we haven't found in ourselves. Individuation involves withdrawing these projections, developing a conscious relationship with our inner anima or animus. This integration fosters emotional depth, inner strength, and healthier relationships. At the very heart of Carl Jung's model of the psyche lies the self, the central archetype representing wholeness, unity, and the harmonious integration of all aspects of our being. The self is not just another part of us, it is the totality, the deep center that unites both our conscious awareness and the vast, mysterious unconscious. It is the source from which our sense of meaning and purpose flows, and the guiding force that calls us toward our fullest potential. The self acts as the organizing principle of the psyche, quietly guiding us toward integration, balance, and inner harmony. It is like a compass, always pointing us toward the path of growth, healing, and authenticity. When we listen to its subtle guidance, we find ourselves drawn to experiences and choices that foster wholeness, even if they challenge us or push us beyond our comfort zones. Throughout history and across cultures, symbols of the self, such as mandalas, wise mentors, or sacred circles, have appeared in myths, art, and especially in our dreams. These symbols often emerge during times of personal transformation or crisis, offering guidance and reassurance as we navigate the unknown. They remind us that the journey toward wholeness is both deeply personal and universally human. For true growth, the ego, the part of us that manages daily life, must learn to serve the self, rather than mistaking itself for the whole. This means recognizing that conscious identity is the tip of who we are, not the deeper wisdom lying within. When the ego becomes inflated, believing it is the center of everything, we lose touch with the self. This leads to arrogance, disconnection from others, and a sense of isolation. We may become brittle, defensive, or unable to see beyond our own limited perspective. The process of individuation is about humbling the ego, opening ourselves to the deeper wisdom of the self, and embracing all parts of who we are. Through practices like reflection, mindfulness, and creative expression, we gradually align with our true center and discover a more authentic way of being. As we integrate the many facets of our psyche, the persona, the shadow, and of course the anima or animus too, a new, more resilient center emerges. This integration allows us to relate to others with greater empathy, to face challenges with courage, and to live with a sense of inner peace. Ultimately, connecting with the self brings a profound sense of meaning, purpose, and belonging. We realize we are part of something greater than ourselves, a living, evolving whole, and this realization transforms the way we see ourselves and the world. Jung's theories are meant for practical use, not just intellectual debate. Here's how. Dream analysis is a powerful tool. Keep a journal and reflect on recurring images and emotions. Pay attention to strong emotional reactions and projections. They reveal hidden complexes and shadow material. Creative expression, painting, writing, music, can help you dialogue with your unconscious through active imagination. Professional guidance from a Jungian analyst can deepen this work, but self-reflection is a vital starting point. Even simple tools like archetype quizzes can spark curiosity and self-awareness. Jung's advice, in essence, is try these techniques. Just explore. If you patiently persevere, that journey into your true self will be ongoing, challenging, but deeply rewarding. His map is there to guide you if you're willing to adventure within. We hope this survey helps you start. As you travel, please also remember to like, share, and subscribe to help others meet Carl Jung and find a seat in life class.
One of the greatest influences on Carl Jung's philosophical beliefs was that remarkable eccentric of 19th century thought, Arthur Schopenhauer, and you can discover his fascinating ideas in episode 51.